My big takeaway from today's episode with Tilita Lutterloh was the importance of focusing on the right problems in your business. You see, Tilita came into today's episode to get my help creating a new and improved lead magnet in order to grow her mailing list, which she has been struggling to do. But as soon as we dug into our hot seat session, we realized that she did not need a new lead magnet. She actually needed a marketing strategy. So if you worry that your lead magnet isn't working, keep listening because we're going to walk through a simple organic marketing strategy that you can turn into a habit to get your lead magnet in front of more eyeballs. Let's dive in, shall we? Welcome to the Six Figure Coach podcast. I'm your host, Dallas Travers, and this is the show to listen to if you're a coach and you want the freedom, the confidence, and the impact that comes with a six-figure business. Each week, we'll discuss tangible strategies, simple systems, plus the juicy inner work to help you make more money and help more people. So thank you for being here. Let's dive in. So how's it going inside the Six Figure Coach Club?
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's ridiculous when I say this, but obviously, let me back up. As an athlete, all my life, I've had a coach. So I'm coachable. I'm that person. I'm a great student. I'm a coachable athlete. And so I knew, okay, I need someone to guide me through this process of I'm building a business, never done this before. And so following, the steps and the modules, it's like music to my ears. Like I love that kind of structure.
Speaking your language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had, my experience in meeting you last year at the retreat, that like all the great things that I've heard, tenfold, like in the retreat. Like, yeah, it was such a great experience to be immersed in that. So I knew, okay, she's a great coach. I know this, but you really don't know how good of training it is until you're in it.
Oh, thank you.
And I just have to say, it's thorough. It's like the content itself, but then having the support with those weekly, whether it's the weekly calls or in the group. That's one of the things I fell in love with the most is the community.
I love the group. You guys have Kylie, our client success manager, we talk about that all the time. You guys are just like all besties. It just makes my heart sing, the support in there and the really valuable feedback you give each other. It's just awesome. So I'm glad you feel at home because that's what from the outside looking in, that's what it looks like. So I'm glad you feel that way. That's awesome.
Definitely. And it's cool to see, like, I don't know what that is. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, but for many years, I assume, okay, well, I'm the coach, so I'm the expert in this thing, so I'm supposed to have all the answers. But it's great watching you, like, yes, you of course would have some answers for people, but watching you sit back also and have the community, the other coaches coach each other because it's just a different perspective or a different insight, even though, yes, you are teaching us all the tools. But it's just all that synergy. Like you're learning left and right from you, from her, from him,
Yeah. I wonder if you have this experience with your clients, but something I'm very cognizant of is I don't want to create a relationship where anyone in the club feels like they have to get the Dallas seal of approval. Or somehow just unconsciously teaching them to trust me more than they trust themselves. So, and that takes it's a little bit of a dance, right? To be able to serve and understand that sometimes serving means like getting out of the way.
Yes. Right? So. I have had that experience. So I used to, long story short, I used to work at a gym for 12 years for this company. And of course, when you're working for a company, it's a business. They have a bottom line. They want to make money, of course. But my approach was similar. I felt that I wasn't giving my clients like the best service possible if they had to rely on me forever. Right. Like, if I felt like I was not doing my job, if they were like 20 years from now, they still have to get everything from me.
Yeah.
And that was my coaching approach to be able, for them to be able to feel confident, have the tools if they happen to not be with me.
Yeah.
Now it's different, of course, if they choose, they would like to be with me, but if for some reason that we're not working together, you can, maintain at least what it is you've built. You have, now the company, of course, that's not the language.
Go very well with your supervisor.
Right. And so that works well for me now, building my business. And I feel like people trust you more.
Yeah.
When you do that.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. Because I really try to take a stand for your success.
Yes.
Not for your enrollment or like whatever that other stuff is. So
yes, exactly.
So let's take a stand for your success, shall we?
Definitely.
If you could only walk away from our conversation with one tangible outcome, what do you most want to walk away with?
Ooh, I 100% would say a solid, like powerful, can't live without it lead magnet. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I have two that, for making them myself and for them being the first two I ever made, I feel like, ooh, these are pretty good, but there's no traction there, like getting in front of the right people, or even when they were getting in front of people, just not a lot of, I guess, engagement
or a conversion. Like
conversion. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
all right. So let's focus on data, not drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the interpretation here is my lead magnets aren't doing their job. Let's find out if that's the case. I want to know, and you may not have these numbers in front of you, which is fine. Well, I'll just judge you later. But how many people have seen your lead magnet? Did you have any of that data?
I can have it. It's not right in front of me.
Okay.
But I know for sure it's definitely not even 100.
Okay. So I wonder, and we can talk about your lead magnet, right? But I wonder if it's the messaging around the lead magnet and the actual lead magnet strategy. Okay. More than you needing the perfect lead magnet. Because you could have the best lead magnet in the world, and if nobody knows about it, it's still not going to convert for you.
Right. That's true. Right. 100%.
So walk me through a little bit of what your lead magnet strategy has been thus far. And it's okay if it's nothing. That's why you're here.
Right. Let's see. I would definitely say that the word strategy wouldn't even apply. Because it was one of those things where, okay, I've learned, or I've heard, I know I'm supposed to have one.
Check. Good.
Right. Right. And then I should have a link to it, probably on my Instagram profile. Okay, great. It's there. And then talk about it to people who I might meet. But all of that is like by chance.
Yep. Got it. You know what? Before we create another lead magnet, let's create a solid strategy. Okay. To test the lead magnet you already have. Okay. All right. And then we'll also just know what to tweak. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like, you could be sitting on a gold mine with the lead magnet you already have. And this is an example. I'm calling you out a little bit, but this is really for everyone listening. 5-figure coaches, we get distracted by making new things. It's sort of a way to avoid the inconvenient work of marketing. Right? Like, oh, my lead magnet isn't converting. I better go make a new one, when in fact, your lead magnet isn't out in the world yet.
Right.
So are you cool with, let's pick one of the lead magnets you already have. We'll create a strategy. And then once you get 100 sets of eyes on the landing page, we can look at your conversion rate and then decide, right? If we will have more data, but I don't want to just make you busy and go have fun in Canva making another lead magnet. Let's actually build your list. Okay. Definitely. So you said you have 2. Is there one that you feel speaks more directly to your dream client?
Ooh, Oh, that's a good question. Geez. See, that could be a whole nother
I
episode too.
know. I was going to weave that in because I know.
Because it's that it could be two different people. Because so let's say one of them is around nutrition, and the other lead magnet is specifically around movement, so mobility for runners, specifically hip mobility. So I would say,
let's back it up. Tell us about your dream client.
Oh, right. So I help ambitious runners get stronger, run faster, and eat better the plant-based way, so that they can nail their PR without wrecking their body.
Nice dream client power statement. That was well done, my friend.
Thank you.
Great.
Learning.
So tell me a little bit more about who this person is, like his or her lifestyle. Like I want to know I want to get into her psyche a little bit because that'll help us with the lead, like selecting the lead magnet. It's going to also help in the messaging and marketing plan.
Yes. So typically, like ambitious runners in that specific word, like I love working with people who have a goal. They have this big performance goal for themselves, whether that is to run their very first race ever or to constantly be better. And that's what, the PR, personal record. But they're typically overtraining. So they're constantly running more mileage. They're constantly on the mileage building hamster wheel. Without strengthening their body and without the proper mobility and proper recovery. So runners constantly have tight hips.
Yeah.
And they know it, and they're always doing the same 4 or 5 stretches, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Have you heard me talk about problem aware and solution aware?
Yes.
Okay, let's fill everybody else in quickly. Okay. Right? So if Tilita looked at her target audience, they're going to fit into one of 3 buckets. I love just like everyone fits into one of these 3 buckets. There are never any exceptions. Oh my goodness. But the first one is unaware. Okay. Sometimes these people could also be described as pain aware. So for example, these are the runners with really tight hips. They know they have tight hips and they believe that all runners have tight hips. And that's just something you deal with. Right? Okay. Yep. So they're just like, they're not even willing to accept that it's fixable or even identify it as a problem. It's what is if you're a runner. Okay. Those people aren't typically your buyers. Right. Then we've got problem aware runners. Okay. I am well aware that if my hips were looser, I would reach I would break my PR. PR is performance record.
Personal.
I ran once to the mailbox like 3 years ago, Tilita. So there you go. So they understand that there's something that can be fixed. They haven't totally bought in to the idea that there's a lasting solution, but they're open to it. And at least they're aware of something they can focus on to accomplish their goals.
Yep.
Right. Then we have solution aware. They're like, yep, I have tight hips. I know it. I know there's a way to limber them up. And I know doing so is going to help me accomplish my goals. Now I just have to go out and pick my method. Right. So it's the solution aware people who are your most likely buyers. And from my perspective, we move problem aware people into the solution aware category through the free content we're putting out in the world. What you're sharing in your Facebook group, your 5-day challenges, what you're doing on Instagram. That's really designed to help those problem aware people become solution aware.
Yep, got it.
That's also where your lead magnet can come into play.
Okay.
So your ideal client is someone who's ambitious. They have a very clear goal and they're willing to work for it.
Yes.
What other solutions are they already aware of?
I would say they are aware of this thing called strength training.
say.
But many of them are scared to do so because they think it's going to bulk them up and then therefore make them heavier.
And slow them down, right?
And slow them down. Yep.
Got it.
Some of the runners I did my market research interviews with knew and felt the difference, saw the difference actually in their running and felt the difference when they did incorporate that strength training. And so they know they need more of that. It's just that thing with runners, they're just like, oh, but I got to run. Like it's a fear that if they don't run miles and miles and miles and miles, then I also won't be ready or reach my goal or be ready for the race or, even though they're fully aware, I know that strength training helped me.
Right.
But it takes away, like, especially if you're training for a marathon, there's so much time involved in that.
Yeah.
So they're also trying to pick, okay, what am I going to use my time on?
Got it. Yeah. So for them, they hold a very strong belief that running as part of my training is a non-negotiable. Mm-hmm. And if that means I have to sacrifice other things, I will, because running has to happen.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. So what is a shared belief? We're totally going to design a new lead magnet. I didn't even want to, and that's totally what's happening right now. It's annoying me. What's a shared belief, okay, that your dream client needs to have in order to hire you? So, for example, like strength training is a must.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shared belief. Ooh, that, I don't know if this...
Try it.
It's about that... what's the word? Quality over quantity. Yep.
Got it.
And that whole no pain, no gain is not the way to go. Because also these people, because of the wear and tear, you're just constantly doing more and more and more running. They do often feel pain. They have lingering overuse injuries sometimes. Mm-hmm. Get rid of the no pain, no gain and enter the quality over quantity. That's what I feel like.
Got it. So if you think about the two lead magnets you have, do you feel that either of them first speaks to the problem-aware person and helps bring them to a shared belief?
I think it speaks to the problem-aware.
Uh-huh.
I think I think it could speak to the shared belief of maybe. I don't know if it's more quality.
Your nurture sequence could do that too. Like if you have a solid lead magnet, right? It's that once people opt in, it's that series you send them via email afterwards that helps bring them to that shared belief. Okay. So what lead magnet are you thinking of?
The hip flossing for runners is what it's called.
Is it that dance move?
No.
Kids were doing that somewhere.
Right. No, that would be funny if that was at the end of doing all this. You'll be able to do the hip floss.
You'll finally be able to floss.
Right. But no, that actually came up from one of my former clients. There's a few hip mobility movements that I often or all the time put in a runner's program. And when she did the sequence, she was like, I don't, this might sound weird, but I feel like we just like flossed my hips and we like busted out laughing, but I knew exactly what she meant. Like really get in the grooves and so that's how
the name came.
Yeah.
So let's test hip flossing.
Okay.
Right. As your lead magnet and we'll get more data.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So when it comes to, give us just an overview of what, if any, marketing, consistent marketing efforts you're currently doing to build your list.
To build my list. That's different than what I was about to say. I was going to talk about nurture my list. Well, in my Facebook group, I'll do weekly Facebook lives on like a different topic.
So that's nurturing.
And then, and in doing so, and this gets cloudy too, I know that, okay, call to action needs to be something like, and if you, I don't know, like we can go deeper into this or whatever. When you're on, if you, join my list to get contents and, that kind of thing.
Great. Okay. So not a lot. Like it sounds like it's on your Instagram bio.
Right.
Right. Like you're waiting for good opportunities to get it in front of people.
Right.
Okay, great. So let's come up with a repeatable process that you can rely on to get your lead magnet out in the world, right? Assuming, and where we're aiming here is to build your community and build your list, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to test the lead magnet first, but in order to do that, we need to get it in front of people's eyeballs.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, great. So you're on Instagram and Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a preference?
I do lean more to Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Facebook by the way, like Facebook converts way better for me. I just don't show it nearly the love.
Right.
It's like, it reminds me of me in high school. I was like, I wanted to date the assholes, right? who were not kind to me, and I ignored the nice guys. That's totally my Instagram. Okay. So here are some habits that you can put in place. You post pretty regularly on Instagram, and it sounds like you're doing lives. Is that regular as well?
On Insta, probably. Actually, it goes in and out. I'll be really regular, yes, for a couple months, and then it's like I haven't struck the balance between. You could probably tell, oh, she probably started a new program or had a new client, because then my energy is so into that, and then I get quiet on the.
Right. That's why we want to just have some simple habits.
Yes. Yep.
Right. Otherwise, my experience is, I'll talk to a lot of coaches who say, oh, I've been at this for 3 years and I can't seem to gain any traction. But when we actually when we take away the time that they weren't executing on a marketing plan, they've been at this, giant air quotes, right, for 8 months.
Yes.
So what we want are habits, and that doesn't mean you can't do your bigger initiatives, right? Like your 5-day challenges or these other things, but in the background running all of the time, we want these simple habits so that you have this steady flow, might even be too strong of a word in the beginning, right? But steady drip of people coming into your world and opting into your list.
Yeah.
So I might be very old school, Tilita, but the list is the one thing you own, right? You don't own your Facebook group. Mark Zuckerberg could shut that down. Instagram could go away. So ultimately, we want to own that information as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, you saying that reminded me the 5-day challenge. So I would say has been my biggest initiative with the purpose of building a list.
With your list.
So I have done 3. Yeah. Which. It people get on the list, but not in a massive way or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So step number 1 with Instagram, we want to have, let's call it a lead magnet post.
Okay.
Right. How often are you posting? Daily, every other day?
Oh yeah. Typically once a day, at least. I have a goal, but it's at least once a day.
So why don't we say 1 in 5 posts reference the lead magnet in some way? Right? So it could just be a video of you flossing your hip. You're going to suddenly, this episode will premiere and you'll suddenly have all these like random sedentary coaches following you on Instagram because they just want to see what hip flossing is.
Yes.
It could be a video of that, right? Where then you say, if I can show you how to do this, like type me in the comments and I'll send you the link, right? Another one could just be a quote graphic, want looser hips, right? Like here's a guide to show you how and link in bio. right? So, but 1 out of every 5 posts is a direct call to action, driving people to your lead magnet.
Yep.
Does that feel like that could be a habit for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Number 2, how much do you engage people who engage with your content? I see, this is where I kind of fall short. Maybe I just lose, I move on.
Right. Actually, that I do that. Since I think, especially since it's not so many yet.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I'm like, oh, let me make sure. Yeah. So I definitely do that. I do.
And what does that normally look like?
So let's say someone comments on Instagram, like if it was a video of me doing some exercise, holy crap, you're so strong, or oh my God, I could never do that, or whatever. That one I do remember specifically. Oh my God, I could never do that. I commented, with the right steps, you totally could.
Yes.
Or something like that. And then I don't ask a question.
And that's where the conversation kind of ends. Yeah, good. So I used to make this mistake as well. I would kind of go to the ask. I either wouldn't ask, right, for the opt-in, or I'd go there too quickly. So for example, wow, I could never do that. How in the past, what I used to do would be like, oh, you sure can. Go here to download my XYZ guide. Bye. Right? And that's not really a connection.
Right.
So, and we also want to make sure that we're getting the right people on your list.
Yes.
So you need people who are ambitious runners.
Yes.
Okay. So let's try this on. And again, we want to turn this into a habit. Sounds like you already have good Instagram rhythm, right? So let's see if this can just slide into what you're already doing. But I'm just making this up. 2 p.m. every day, you log on specifically for engagement. Right? Or you do it 3 times a day, or you have your phone with you all the time, like whatever's habitual for you.
Yeah.
And so I comment, wow, you're so strong. I could never do that. Instead of just shutting the conversation down, right? Like, well, you could if you XYZ, right? You want to engage me. The first question I would ask is, are you a runner?
Oh, so simple, but that makes sense. Right? Yes.
Because believe me, you don't want me on your list. It's not going to help you. Right. So like, oh, really? Are you a runner? Right? That's also what I call a chocolate or vanilla question. I can answer that question without having to pray about it, research, think about it, like worry about putting my best foot forward. It's a yes or no question.
Yep.
So I reply back and I say no. Right? I say no. And then you might like send me a running emoji or something to kind of turn that conversation off now. Right? So acknowledge that I replied. Right? And then you're not going to try to convert me.
Right.
Okay. So now let's say someone else says, wow, you're so strong. I could never do that. Oh, really? Are you a runner? Right. And they say, yes, I'm actually training for a half marathon. Right. Then instead of, because this is where I would used to go, oh, great, here's my freebie. Right. I would say, oh, half marathon. That's awesome. Right. Like, good luck or something to engage. Right. And then say, I have a guide that my clients love. My clients with tight hips really love. Would you like me to send it to you? So you get me to say yes. You get me to ask for it before just sending me a link. Have fun. Go download it. You're on your own.
Right.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Coach Class. You know, the most common and most dangerous question other coaches ask me is this: what more should I be doing? Now, this question keeps you stuck scrambling every month to find some clients, throwing a launch together at the very last minute, or just trying to piece together some semblance of a business strategy from all the free stuff you can find out there online. So instead of asking, what more should I do? The real question here is, how can I do less? Or where can I go deeper? And those are the questions we'll tackle inside a brand new class for coaches called, of course, the Coach Class. So if you're tired of winging it, second guessing yourself at every turn, and working way too hard to keep your business running, the coach class will change your life. Go to watchthecoachclass.com right now to grab your free spot inside this special class for coaches who want an easier path to six figures, because that easier path exists and the coach class will show it to you. Registration is open this week. So again, please visit watchthecoachclass.com now to reserve your spot. I will see you there. And now, back to the show. Now, another way to do this, you may want to move people into DMs, right? Otherwise, you could be asking that question a lot. So now it's popping up, oh, I see exactly what she's doing here, right? So it could be like, oh, the half marathon, that's awesome. I might have something that could help you. I'm going to send you a DM.
Got it. Yep.
Right? So you test both of those.
Okay.
The important thing here is getting a buy-in before sending the link.
Definitely.
And let's aim. What feels like a good percentage to aim for? We haven't tested this, so we really don't know. But is it 1 in 3, 1 in 10? Like, what would be a successful conversion rate for you that would allow you, that would get you excited to keep implementing this habit?
Oh, that's I feel like, I don't know why I want to say half would like 50%.
I was thinking too.
Okay.
And who knows, right? That could be super low or super high, but I had the same. I think we were exactly the same. I thought 50%. Oh, is that way too high?
Yes, that's exactly what I think.
Let's aim for it. Let's aim for it. Okay. So we test, right? We test. But what I find when I'm really having these one-on-one connections to convert, when I slow it down and actually reflect back to the other person that I understand them, I hear them, I see them, it works. It converts so much better. Now, that doesn't have to be a super long process when what you're sharing is a freebie, right? But just slowing it down and having those one-on-one connections, you will see, I'd be surprised if you didn't see results from that.
Right.
Great. So cool. Are you a runner?
That's phenomenal.
Awesome. Great.
Especially, that feels good, even not having done it yet, because you're also directly speaking to one of my core values. So this is great. Of connection.
Of connection. Right. Yeah. So taking the time, right, to just have that connection. Okay. So every 5th Instagram post is going to somehow reference your lead magnet. You're going to carve out habitual time to create connection, legitimate connection with people who are commenting on your posts. What's happening in your Facebook group? Facebook groups are tricky because they're already in your tribe a little bit, but I still think you need to try to get them on your list.
Right.
What do you have in place inside of your Facebook group to move people to your list?
Only the, what do you call it? The questions in the beginning to get into the group. I put, if you'd like Tilita to send, I forget the exact question, but it's put your email here if you would like XYZ.
Okay. And the XYZ is like weekly tips and tricks or something like that. Okay. How do most people give you their email address?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Most have.
We get like 9 out of 10 people.
Oh, okay.
So if you're something else you could test if you're not getting that high a number, instead of just, if you want to get weekly updates, I've created a hip flossing exercise for any runner with tight hips. If you want me to send it to you, put your email address below, and then you just go and opt them into that lead magnet.
Oh, from those qualifying questions. Oh, okay. Okay.
But if it's already working, you don't have to change it. Okay. And then once people are in your group, you're not. So it sounds like most people are already opting into your list once they're in your group. So you don't have to have a bunch of other lead magnets, like opt-in offers inside of your group. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't get a lot of people to the
group.
Yeah.
To the group. Good. So back to your Instagram, your organic social media strategy, taking the time, right? So people are commenting. Also, you're following hashtags on Instagram?
Oh, yes, but actually only a few I need to do.
So you could make a list of key hashtags for competitive runners, follow those hashtags, and then posts just pop up in your feed, right? So let's just say someone, I'm not a runner, so I'm totally winging this here, forgive me, but you see under the hashtag like marathon runners. I don't know, sorry.
That's a good one.
Okay. I thought it was safe enough. You see a post from Rebecca Johnson in New Jersey, right? And she's stretching, getting ready for her run, right? Follow her, like comment on the post, follow her. And then you can invite her into your Facebook group. Again, we're slowing it down, right? But you comment on the post, you follow her, and then maybe she replies, right? Maybe it's just for people who reply. And then you say, hey, I have curated a Facebook group just for competitive runners. It's totally free, and we're all in there supporting each other to accomplish XYZ goal.
Yeah.
Would you like the link to join? Instead of here's the link to join. Or like, is it cool if I send you an invite? Get the buy-in first.
Got it.
So for everyone listening, this might sound arduous, right? And how am I ever going to get traction? How am I ever going to get a list of 100,000 followers doing it this way? This is not the only way to build your list, but if you don't have this no cost foundation in place, you have no business running ads yet. You have no business trying these other massive initiatives. Like, keep it simple so you see steady growth every single day with people who feel connected to you. And it's 10 minutes a day. You could get 10, 20 new members in your Facebook group, 10, 20 new subscribers to your list, right? Multiply that. I'm pulling out my calculator here by 365. That's 3,500. If you had 10 people a day, that'd be 3,500 people on your list at the end of the year with zero ad spend.
Yeah, that's
and these would be warm subscribers, right? Instead of just randos who got on your list somewhere.
Yep.
So far, so good?
Yes. Love. And I can absolutely attest to that last piece of, spending a certain specific amount of time or having a goal, a number. Because I did that for, I want to say it was 2 weeks, maybe even only a week. I said, okay, every single day you're going to comment on 10 people's posts who fit the description, of course. And that was a week. And I could see the difference. Again, engagement back, but then a few people filtering into like the Facebook group or asking me questions.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay. So yes, I think getting back on that as just a regular habit as opposed to let me test this out this week is, I can.
Okay. So what can we put in place in order for you to really have this regular habit? I think you got to do it for 6 weeks straight.
Oh, okay.
Where we really know that before you can be left on your own, just stick with it.
Yes, exactly.
How can I support you? Do you want a post inside the 6-Figure Coach Club Facebook group? Like, we are here to, again, stand for your success. So what do you need in order to really stick with this?
Oof. Ooh, yeah, that would do it. A post, because even with and this is a whole other topic, but with the client surge right now.
Yeah. I
mean, it's extremely invigorating right now. And it's only been, 7 days, but having, again, I put it out there, like it's posted in the group and however many people there are, like, okay, they're indirectly holding me accountable by making these comments, supporting me, so I'm showing up for many reasons, but that being one of them. So anyway, say that to say, I think a post I'm sure could help.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
here's what I'm thinking. Why don't we, I'm volunteering Kylie, that our client success manager, for more work, but why don't we create a bit of a list building challenge inside of the group? A list building habit challenge. So I don't care about the numbers. The numbers will come when you're consistent.
Yeah.
And we'll just have we'll just create a thread that everyone has to check in. Like, you'll sign up so we'll know who it is, and you're going to check in every Wednesday. And we'll just watch for you. Shaming, right? That is so undervalued. Healthy public shaming.
Yes.
Okay, we can do that for you.
I love that. Yeah. Even more, because I'm a very competitive person too. So this is great. I didn't even think of that. It could be, this is great.
Yeah. Well, that's an easy, I'm so committed to having each one of you soar way past the 6-figure mark, that this is just an easy way for us to serve you. So that's what we'll do. Okay. So I want to just walk you through a few metrics to keep your eye on. Okay. The number one is the amount of time you're spending with these direct connection strategies and the conversion, right? So I don't know. And if this is going to prevent you from being consistent, throw it away. Okay. All right. So maybe it's after you feel like this is a habit, right? But I would love for you to toggle your time. Toggle is a free desktop app where you turn it on and it'll time you, right? So you can, you're essentially clocking in to say, all right, I'm doing my organic engagement strategy.
Got it.
And then, then at the end of the week, Toggle will tell you, okay, you spent 4 hours on this and you got 40 subscribers. So then again, we can tap into your competitive nature. All right, how can I streamline this? How can I get it down to 3 hours?
Yes.
Right. Yes. And how can we improve the conversion rate? I just want you to have some data to affirm to you whether this strategy is worthwhile or not.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Another one to track is your landing page conversion rate. Is your lead magnet where does it live right now? Is it on its own landing page, or is it just on your website? How do I get to it?
On a lead pages landing page. Yeah.
Okay, great. So you can see that conversion. You know how to look at the analytics for lead pages?
Yes.
Okay.
Oopsie, wrong.
Are you pulling it up?
Yes, which is funny because I did, wrong one. I knew, I was like, I have a feeling she's going to ask me numbers, so I should have this pulled up.
Like pulling numbers out of the sky. What's she going to ask me?
So that, here we go. It timed me out, of course. So it might take a second.
Okay, great. While you're pulling that up, I'll fill everyone else in on numbers to track. So we want your landing page to convert at least 40%. Okay. If it's not converting at 40%, we change one thing at a time, right? Because if you change everything, then you don't know what made the difference or not. And it's hard to repeat that next time. So we just change the headline, for example, or we just change the background image and then we test it for a week. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, let's say your landing page is converting at 38%. And you go in and you change the headline, you change the color of the opt-in button, you change the background image, and you write new bullet points. And then it converts at 20%.
Gotcha. Yep.
You don't know what to go back to because you changed too many things at once.
Yep.
Right?
That makes sense.
Okay. So we want to look at that landing page conversion rate. And then, of course, sales calls. So how do I hire you right now? Do I get on the phone with you? Is that your sales process? I have an enrollment conversation. Okay.
Yes.
Great. So anytime someone is interested, right? So what we look at with the 6-Figure Coach Club, anytime someone enrolls, we look them up inside of our email marketing program, which is Drip. And I see when you join my list. I see what activities you've done. Like, do you own all of my lead magnets? We also confirm whether or not you're inside of our Facebook group. And it's so informative, Tilita, because now I know the average amount of time someone is on my list before they actually hire me is 2 months.
Okay.
A year ago, it was 6. So we're like tweaking it to shorten that time span, which is awesome.
Right.
But I also know, okay, I got to be at something for 2 months before I can really measure whether or not it's working. Because
Gotcha.
people just need a little bit more time to build trust with me.
Yep.
So if you can start collecting some of those data points, and we talk about this a lot inside the club, that's how we know whether your lead magnet is doing its job or not.
Got it.
Is that helpful?
Yes, very much so. And the number for this particular is, what percentage is that? 26%.
Okay.
Conversion as far as the sign up for that lead magnet. Yeah.
Right. So do you want to share your screen? Let's pick the thing we're going to change.
Oh.
26% is almost half of what it should be.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So I get that this is a podcast, everyone. But Tilita will walk through it. And then if it's okay with you, we will share a link to your lead magnet. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Share. And this is the opt-in page, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Runners hip flossing, a video guide to open up your hips. Floss your hips with these active and static stretches to release the tightness built up from your tough running regimen. Okay, so is there anything that stands out to you that you would change?
Maybe, other than maybe a better quality photo. But in the description, I feel like the fact that it's a video for some reason makes me think I should have a video on this page of me, I don't know, for some reason, speaking or something. I don't know.
Runners hip flossing, that's the headline. That is not a result. That's a process.
Gotcha.
So the headline should speak to the result I crave. I don't care how you're going to get me there, right? I want the result.
Got it. Yep.
So what is the result I will have if I follow this?
More open hips or looser hips.
Great. If I'm a runner, do I want looser hips or do I want less pain, faster times?
Oh, right. Yep. Less pain, faster times for sure. And one of the ways to get you there is by opening up the hips.
Right. I don't care about that. I care about faster times and less pain.
Right. Okay.
So let's come up with a headline. Oh, now I'm sweating. I gotta take off my sweater. What is a headline? So what is it your clients want more than anything else?
To PR in their race. To drop that race time, to drop their time.
And their lingo is PR, like I want to PR my next race. Is that what they would like? How would they, in their words, how would they say it?
PR or PR and PB are typical, personal best and personal record. But drop my times is a phrase that's also common. Right.
Drop your times with less, like drop your times, a free video guide to reduce pain, like to make you faster and more free, isn't it? Like I want to eliminate your pain and increase your speed. Right? Something like that.
Yes. And I wonder now that you're saying that the description on the actual guide itself.
Oh, okay, great.
Probably has better language now that I'm.
So just for everyone tuning in, this is so important. So often we're so in it in our businesses that we don't even notice when in our marketing, we're describing the process rather than the outcome. Yep. People don't invest in the process. They invest in the outcome.
Yep. Got it.
Hip flossing, like if I don't know it, I think it's flossing. I think it's the dance move.
Right.
Right. So we have to really make sure, especially in our headlines for opt-ins, that we are spelling out the solution.
Okay. that'll probably take a second to come up.
Okay.
But I remember speaking about like a smoother stride or a more fluid. When you open up the hips, you have a more fluid stride.
Great. And do they equate a more fluid stride with a personal PR? A PR?
Ooh, that's a good question. They might
not
only associate it with just feeling good, like the body, not necessarily faster. Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So just in terms of an action item here, we're going to change this headline to speak directly to the thing they want, right? Which is drop your time. Yep. A video guide to eliminate, like to make you faster with less pain. I'd sign up for that. Well, Dallas Travers, would not. Good.
Cool.
Great. All right. I think we covered that piece. Awesome. Yes. Okay. Wow. All right. I want to just hear from you. I definitely want to invite you back because there's more for us to talk about here, but this feels like a good place to stop today. Mm-hmm. What's your biggest takeaway from our session today?
Oof. Definitely the slowing down of the connection. Because even though connection has been important to me, but I know it's important, obviously, in business, my view of it was different. Like it just needs, slow down and take that time. Because I felt like, that's the story of my life, but I felt like I needed them to know that I can do this for them. And if I take that slow engagement, they will never know. No, but I can help you. There's a solution. So I'm giving all this, too fast. So that, for sure.
Yeah, because I don't need to know it. I need to feel it. And I can't feel it if you're just like hitting me with more proof rather than that connection.
Yep.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. For sure.
This is going to be so easy for you because you value connection. So right up your alley. All right. What are your action steps?
All right. So I am going to decide like the frequency of engagement. But once I decide that, we're doing 1 in every 5 posts, social media posts, will have a direct call to action to the lead magnet. But the post itself is going to show something that relates to the lead magnet. I'm going to make a new list, or not necessarily new, but add to the list of key hashtags that I want to follow. And then as they're coming up in my feed, make comments. And then metric wise, I'm following, or I'm going to get this Toggle app.
Great.
And then follow those metrics of conversion rate from the landing page and then my calls.
Great. We're also going to update the headline on your landing page.
Oh, duh. Yes.
Yeah, and we'll just keep tweaking one item at a time until we get that conversion rate up to above 40%.
Yes. Above 40. Got it.
Yeah. And then, okay, so that's great. And then let's set a concrete goal here. Just with these 2 simple habits, direct engagement on Instagram and a CTA or a lead magnet post 1 in 5, how many new subscribers would you like to add to your list every week?
And we're going to do this for 6 weeks, right?
We're going to do this forever until the day you die.
Each week. Oh, that's so hard to say. I want to say 7 each week.
7 a week. So 1 a day.
1 a day. That's what.
Great. Exactly. We're aiming for 1 a day. Great. And once you're hitting 1 a day, the goal becomes 2 a day.
Okay.
Right. And once you're hitting 2 a day, the goal becomes 3.
Okay.
And then looking at the time spent versus the results, then we may throw this whole plan away. Right. But this is definitely a super solid starting point to help you begin building that list.
Okay.
Great. Will you come back for another episode? I want to talk about your target audience. I want to talk about all of it.
Yeah. Yes. I would love to.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great.
Definitely.
Good. All right. So where can people go to find out more about you, to connect?
I am Tilita is the Instagram. And then at Tilitafied is the business Facebook page.
Great. We'll put that in the show notes too,
yes.
so everyone can find you.
Definitely.
Great.
And if you're a runner, the Runner's Locker Room is the place to be on Facebook.
Yeah, good. And if you're not, stay away.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm excited for you because what I see so clearly is you've been busy being busy. Mm-hmm. Right? And now with just some strategy and systems in place, all of that hard work running in place, right? I don't mean to use running as a metaphor, but there we go, right? You're actually going to start to move forward really quickly.
Yes.
Right?
I love, action items.
Okay. All right. Keep us posted and we'll track you inside the Facebook group. Help support you.
I'm looking forward to this challenge, this list. Cool. Thank you so much.
All right. Alice. You're welcome, Tilita. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks again for tuning in to the Six Figure Coach podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate and review the show. That's the best way you can show your support. I'd also love to connect on Instagram, so go ahead and take a screenshot of this episode or maybe a photo of yourself listening along to the podcast. Post it to your Instagram stories. Be sure to mention me. I'm at Dallas Travers, and I'll send some Instagram love right back at you. We'll be back next week with another great episode. Until then, keep going on your six-figure journey.